Ready to trade those snow boots for some flip-flops? Today we're doing a deep dive into retiring in Koh Samui, Thailand. But this isn't just any old guide, it's from Ocean Worldwide, a luxury real estate agency based in Phuket.
And just so we're clear, that's Phuket, not Phuket.
Ah, yes, you're right. They've been around since 2004, and their director, Sandra O'Neill, has helped literally thousands of families and investors find amazing properties. They specialize in luxury real estate, mostly in Phuket and Koh Samui, so this should be a really good look into retiring in Koh Samui, especially if you're after a luxury experience.
Exactly. So are you already booking your flights or just daydreaming? Either way, let's talk about what makes Koh Samui such a popular retirement spot.
Okay, so first of all, why Koh Samui? I mean, it's gorgeous, but what makes it so appealing to retirees, specifically?
Well, the guide really highlights this mix of tranquility and convenience. You've got friendly people, beautiful scenery, and all the amenities you could want, but without being in a busy city.
Sounds peaceful. But let's be real, what about healthcare? That's a big concern for anyone thinking about retiring abroad.
You know what? That's one thing that's so interesting about Koh Samui. They have a surprisingly good healthcare system with both public and private options. A lot of doctors are trained internationally too, which might help if you're concerned about quality of care.
That's good to know. So healthcare is covered, but what about costs? Can retirees afford to actually live in Koh Samui?
That's a big reason people go there. The cost of living in Koh Samui is way lower than most Western countries. Housing, food, getting around, it all adds up to a lot of savings.
So your retirement savings go further in Koh Samui. But safety is super important, especially when moving to a new country. How safe is Koh Samui?
Koh Samui actually has a pretty low crime rate, which is good. And if you want that extra security, there are a lot of gated communities, which a lot of retirees like.
Gated communities in paradise. Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. Now, Koh Samui isn't just one massive beach, right? Tell me more about the different areas and what makes each of them unique for retirees.
Absolutely. Every district has its own personality, catering to different tastes and lifestyles. Let's start with Beaufort. Picture a really charming blend of relaxation and convenience, sort of a relaxed pace of life without sacrificing your amenities.
Okay, I like the sound of that. What's the highlight of Beaufort?
Well, the guide mentions Fisherman's Village. It's this area with traditional buildings and this great Friday night market. You can walk around, sample local food, take in the atmosphere, a world away from your average grocery shopping.
Sounds like a great way to experience the local culture. So what about Chaweng Mon? What's the vibe there?
Chaweng got these breathtaking ocean views and a strong sense of community, particularly among expats. It's known for being pretty relaxed and very affordable, which is perfect if you want beauty and to be budget conscious.
So affordability and ocean views, that's a great mix. Can you give us an idea of what a retirement budget would look like in Chaweng Mon?
Well, the guide says rental prices can be quite reasonable. Like a studio apartment might be around 15,000 to 25,000 Thai baht per month. A one-bedroom may be 20,000 to 35,000. And if you need more space, a house starts at about 30,000 and goes up from there.
That's not bad at all. All right, let's move on to Chaweng. What makes it stand out?
Chaweng is the center of Koh Samui's nightlife and social scene. If you're the kind of retiree who loves to be active and in the middle of the action, Chaweng's your place. Picture Koh Samui's largest beach, just full of life, jet skiing, parties, and entertainment galore.
Wow, so this is the place to be if you're not ready to slow down.
Hmm.
But can you enjoy Chaweng without breaking the bank? Because luxury can get expensive.
Oh, definitely. While it has a really luxurious side, there are tons of affordable options if you stay a little further from the beachfront. And with so many restaurants and shops to choose from, you can easily manage your spending.
That's good to know. Okay, what about Lamai? Tell me about that one.
Lamai offers a really nice balance between the peace of Beaufort and the excitement of Chaweng. It's less crowded than Chaweng, but still has a lively atmosphere with plenty of restaurants and bars and shops. Imagine relaxing beaches during the day, and then a fun nightlife when you're ready.
So, the best of both worlds. Okay, last but not least, tell me about Maenam. What's so special about it?
Maenam is the perfect spot if you really want to get away from it all. It's known for being peaceful and laid back, and the natural beauty is stunning. Think secluded beaches, lots of greenery, and a slower pace of life that makes you want to relax and reflect.
Wow, each district has such a distinct personality. It's pretty amazing how much variety Koh Samui offers. But let's be real, there's more to retirement than beaches and nightlife. What are some things retirees can do in Koh Samui beyond, like the typical tourist stuff.
Well, that's where Koh Samui really shines. You can have so many unique cultural experiences. Imagine learning to cook authentic Thai food, releasing a floating lantern during Loy Krathong, or exploring these incredible ancient temples. It's a chance to really immerse yourself in a new culture.
Okay, so we've talked about the beaches and the nightlife and even the culture. But what about the more practical side of things? If a retiree is really thinking about Koh Samui, what are some things they can do that aren't, typical tourist attractions?
Oh, if you like staying active, Koh Samui's got you covered. They have amazing golf courses, some of the best diving and snorkeling spots, and lots of great hiking trails with incredible views.
So it's not all about lounging on the beach. Now, I'm curious about the real estate. What kind of properties can you find in Koh Samui, and what's the investment potential like?
The real estate market in Koh Samui is pretty diverse. There's really something for everyone and every budget. You can find cozy condos, luxury villas, modern and traditional Thai styles.
Yeah,
It's a big mix.
so many choices. But can foreigners actually buy property in Koh Samui? I know Thailand has, like, specific rules about that.
That's a good question. So foreigners can't directly own land, but they can lease it for a long time, usually around 30 years with options to renew. Condos are popular for foreign buyers because they can own those outright.
That makes sense. What about investment potential? Is Koh Samui a good place to invest?
Well, because Koh Samui is so popular with tourists and expats, the rental market is really strong, especially in places like Beaufort and Chaweng.
Hmm.
So if you want some rental income, those areas might be worth checking out. But like any investment, you got to do your research and understand the risks, right? The market can change, so working with a good real estate agency is crucial, especially for foreign buyers.
Yeah, for sure. So we've covered lifestyle, costs, activities, real estate. But what about the social scene? Moving to a new country can be kind of scary, especially if you're retired. Is it easy to meet people in Koh Samui?
Koh Samui has a really big and active expat community, which makes things so much easier. There are all sorts of clubs for every interest you can think of. Book clubs, hiking groups, photography, volunteering. It's a great way to meet people and build a support system.
So it's not just about finding a nice place to live, it's about finding your people.
Exactly. That feeling of belonging is so important, especially for retirees moving abroad. You can join a yoga class, go to local festivals, volunteer at an animal shelter. There are so many ways to make real connections.
That's fantastic. We talked about healthcare earlier, but let's go a little deeper. Are there hospitals or clinics specifically for expats and retirees in Koh Samui?
Yeah, there are. Koh Samui has some really good healthcare facilities, places with English-speaking staff and international standards. Bangkok Hospital Samui is super popular with expats. They offer pretty much everything. And there are also smaller clinics around the island.
That's good to hear. What about health insurance? Is that a must-have for retirees in Koh Samui?
Oh, absolutely. Even though healthcare in Koh Samui is usually pretty affordable, it's so important to have good health insurance that covers you internationally. You should definitely see if your current insurance works abroad or if you need to get a separate plan.
Good advice. Planning for those unexpected costs is crucial. Now, let's talk about something a bit more fun: transport. What are the best ways to get around Koh Samui?
Koh Samui has a lot of transport options for every budget. Songsas, which are shared taxis, are really popular and affordable, especially for shorter trips. Regular taxis are easy to find, but always make sure to agree on a price before you go anywhere. If you want to be more independent, renting a motorbike or a car is an option. But just remember to be careful with the traffic laws and road conditions.
Yeah, that's a good point. And what about if you want to explore the other islands? Are there boat trips or ferries?
Of course. Koh Samui is a great starting point for exploring all the amazing islands in the Gulf of Thailand. You can take ferries to nearby islands like Koh Phangan, that's the one famous for its full moon parties, or Koh Tao, a world-famous diving spot. They also have boat tours, and you can even charter a private boat if you want to do your own thing.
Sounds like there's so much to see. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about culture again. What are some cultural things retirees in Koh Samui absolutely have to experience?
Oh, Koh Samui has such a rich culture. You can't miss the big Buddha temple, Wat Phra Yai. It's a really iconic landmark and a great place to experience Thai Buddhist culture. There's also the secret Buddha Garden, which is hidden away in the mountains, or you could go to a traditional Thai dance performance to see the island's artistic side.
Wow, those all sound incredible.
Yeah.
What about local festivals and events? Anything retirees should make sure to check out?
Koh Samui has events happening all year round. Songkran, the Thai New Year, is a huge celebration in April, with water fights and parties all over the island. Then there's Loy Krathong, the Festival of Lights, where people release these beautiful lanterns onto the water. And of course, there are tons of local markets, especially at night, where you can really experience the sights, sounds, and tastes of Thai culture.
Sounds like there's always something going on. Now let's talk visas, something really important for anyone thinking about staying long term. What kind of visas are there for retirees in Thailand?
Thailand has a special retirement visa for people 50 and over who meet certain financial requirements. This visa lets you stay for a whole year and you can renew it every year. There are also other options, like long stay tourist visas, which might work for some retirees depending on their situation.
That's useful to know. Okay, so we've talked about a ton of positives about retiring in Koh Samui, but let's be real. Are there any downsides or challenges retirees should know about?
Well, while Koh Samui is pretty idyllic for retirement, there are a few things to consider. The language barrier can be tricky, although a lot of people in tourist areas speak English. The tropical climate, especially the humidity, takes some getting used to. And even though Koh Samui has great health care, it's really important to have good health insurance that'll cover you internationally.
Those are all really important things to keep in mind. It's important to have realistic expectations. But overall, it seems like Koh Samui offers a fantastic package for retirees: stunning beaches, affordable living, vibrant culture, welcoming people, and lots of opportunities for both adventure and relaxation. I bet our listeners are dying to hear more about the hidden gems and experiences that make Koh Samui so special. So let's move on to the last part of our deep dive and really explore the heart and soul of this incredible island. All right, welcome back to our final look at retiring in Koh Samui. We've talked about the practical stuff, the culture, even the healthcare, but I want to get into those hidden gems that make Koh Samui truly unique. What really stood out to you while you were researching this guide?
Well, for an island known for its beaches, I was really surprised by how spiritual Koh Samui is. There's a real sense of peace and quiet that goes beyond just relaxing.
So it's more than just partying or soaking up the sun.
Exactly. You have these ancient temples, like Wat Kunaram, where there's a mummified monk sitting in meditation, and there are all these hidden meditation retreats tucked away in the jungle. Even just the natural beauty of the island seems to encourage self-reflection.
It sounds like the perfect place to like reconnect with yourself and a new culture at the same time.
Absolutely. And you see that in the wellness scene, too. Imagine starting your day with a traditional Thai massage. They're known for their healing properties. And then a yoga class overlooking the ocean. It's a much slower, more mindful way of living.
I feel relaxed just thinking about it.
Mm.
Okay, so beaches, culture, wellness. But what about adventure? Anything for retirees who are still young at heart?
Oh, yeah. Koh Samui has something for everyone. For the adventurous types, there are hidden waterfalls like Namwang 1 and 2, deep in the jungle. You can go hiking through the rainforest, kayaking through mangroves, even zip lining through the trees.
So retirement doesn't have to mean taking it easy all the time. All right, let's say someone's listening and they're sold. They're ready to trade their winter coats for swimsuits. What are 3 pieces of advice you'd give them before they make the move to Koh Samui?
Okay. First, I'd say don't just stick to the usual travel websites. Look at expat blogs, online forums, social media groups, that kind of thing. You'll get real stories and tips from people who are already living there.
Yeah, getting that insider info is so valuable. What else?
Second, pack light. Honestly, you can find almost anything you need in Koh Samui, and you'll be glad you didn't overpack when you're wandering through those markets or squeezing onto a long-tail boat.
That's good advice. Okay,
Okay.
what's your final tip?
Be open to new experiences. Koh Samui is a place to embrace a different way of life, try new foods, maybe learn some basic Thai, and connect with all kinds of people. That openness will make your whole retirement adventure so much richer.
That's great advice. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I have one last question. What makes Koh Samui stand out from other retirement spots?
Koh Samui just has this amazing combination of natural beauty, affordability, and that warm Thai hospitality. It's a place where you can really create the retirement you've always wanted, whether that's full of adventure, relaxation, cultural immersion, or a mix of everything.
Well said. So to anyone out there dreaming of a tropical retirement, Koh Samui might just be your paradise.
Yeah.
This deep dive has given you a glimpse of what's possible. Now it's time to start planning your own adventure.
And remember, retirement isn't the end, it's a new beginning. Koh Samui could be the perfect place to write your next chapter.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey to Koh Samui. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive, where we'll explore another fascinating topic and help you uncover more hidden gems of knowledge.